Good morning, scholars. Today we're going to be talking about vertex form. Vertex form is on your worksheet. Y equals A times the quantity of x minus h squared plus k. My vertex is always going to be h comma k. Keep in mind that it's going to be h comma k, but my h is always going to be opposite of what I see on the inside of the equation, because an opposite negative h would be a positive, and a negative h would be a negative. That's something if you understand the math of what Ms. Hood just said, that's great. If not, you could just memorize that. That inside term is going to be the x value of my vertex. The k is going to be the y value. So in this instance, I have y equals x minus 1 squared plus 2. The inside is a negative 1, but I know I'm going to change the negative to a positive. So it's 1 comma 2. That's my vertex. The next question asks me for my axis of symmetry. My axis of symmetry is always going to be my x value of my vertex. So in this instance, axis of symmetry equals 1, or x equals 1. Is this vertex a maximum or a minimum? Since there is no negative coefficient, this is going to be a minimum, and your parabola will face up. So here my vertex is 1 comma 2, so I'm going to put it at 1 comma 2. I know that my parabola is facing up. So that's a sketch of what your parabola should look like. The next one I want to do is going to be a negative, so that you guys have seen the negative before we move on. So I'm going to actually skip number 2 and move on to number 3. Number 3 says y equals negative 3 x plus 7 squared minus 8. Again, my x term is going to be the opposite of what I see. So my x term is negative 7. My y term is negative 8. Is this going to be a maximum or a minimum? So this is going to be a maximum, and my parabola is going to be pointing down because of that negative coefficient. So I'm going to go ahead and graph that. I went 7 to the left because of my x and 8 down. I placed my vertex. I already said because of this negative number, it's going to be facing down. Good. And again, my vertex is a maximum here. My axis of symmetry is x equals negative 7, because it's always going to be my x value of my vertex. You may continue to do 2, 4, 5, 6, and the rest of the worksheet with a partner at a voice level 1. Happy Wednesday.